In this tribute video, we honor 8 American legends who have passed away today and in recent days. Welcome back to Movie Newscast. These remarkable individuals made lasting contributions to their fields, and we sadly say goodbye to them. Our heartfelt condolences go out to their families and fans. As we remember their legacies, we invite you to show your support by giving this video a thumbs up if their lives or work have touched you in any way. Your gesture is a sign of respect and remembrance. Let's get started. Rich Homie Quan, dead at 34. TMZ obtained the 911 call from Rich Homie Quan's death, and his girlfriend tells the dispatcher the rapper is not breathing and does not have a heartbeat. She also revealed he was unresponsive on a couch in their home when she called 911 and started foaming at the mouth when she tried to move him. Rich Homie Quan, a platinum-selling rapper from Atlanta, is dead, TMZ Hip Hop has confirmed. RQ died Thursday in his Atlanta home, according to his family and a rep for the Fulton County Morgue. Rich Homie Quan's family tells TMZ Hip Hop they are shattered and heartbroken by his sudden death. No cause of death has been reported, and they're desperately searching for answers. Born DeQuantes Lamar in Atlanta, RHQ first burst onto the scene in 2013 with his instant classic hit, Type of Way, and followed through with fan favorites in Flex and Ride Out. Rich Homie Quan later joined Young Thug on the Cash Money Records project, Rich Gang, and he was a frequent collaborator with his hometown homies, 2 Chainz and Jacquees. The last time we spoke to him, RHQ ripped the current state of hip-hop for its murderous lyrics and cookie-cutter song formats. Rich Homie Quan was 34. Rest in peace. Another death was reported this morning. Laurent Terrard dies, the French screenwriter and director whose best-known works included adaptations of René Goscinny and Jean-Jacques Sempé's Little Nicholas and Nicholas on Holiday, has died after a long illness. He was 57. Terrard was a well-liked figure in the French film industry who made 15 features over the course of 2 decades. They also included Molière, 2007, starring Romain Duris as the historic playwright, Asterix and Obelix, God Save Britannia, 2012, with Catherine Deneuve, Fabrice Lucchini, and Guillaume Gallienne. Romantic comedy Up for Love with Jean Dujardin and Virginie Efira, and costume drama Return of a Hero, 2018, also starring Oscar winner Dujardin. He also directed early episodes of hit show Call My Agent. Terrard's films rarely debuted at film festivals but regularly achieved healthy box office results at home and sold well internationally too. He had a talent for capturing and retelling human stories with a lot of humor and sensibility. PR agency BCG Press wrote in a release announcing Terrard's death on September 5 in Paris, after battling with illness. On his return to France, Terrard got a job as a journalist for the Cinema Magazine studio, through which he interviewed a number of top directors including Woody Allen, David Lynch, and Martin Scorsese. Born on February 18, 1967, he broke into filmmaking in his own right with the short film De Source Store, 1999, which featured Gad Elmaleh in the cast. His final film was the 2022 nun comedy, Oh My Goodness, about 5 nuns who enter a cycling race with their sights set on the big cash prize to help renovate their dilapidated convent. It is with great sadness that we share some unfortunate news about Manuel Antin, master of Argentine cinema, dies. He was 98 years old. He directed a celebrated trilogy of films based on works by Julio Cortázar. His legacy includes the founding of the Universidad del Cine and the eradication of censorship when he took over as head of INCAA in December 1983. Manuel Antin, a key figure in Argentine cinema, has died at the age of 98. Born on February 27, 1926 in Las Palmas, Chaco, Argentina, Antin made a difference in the country's film industry both for his filmography and for his role in various institutions related to cinema. He was a filmmaker, screenwriter, producer, playwright, poet, former director of NCAA, founder of the Universidad del Cine, and teacher. He is an indispensable figure in the history of Argentine cinema. Throughout his life, Antin was acclaimed for his ability to manage cultural institutions and promote young talent. His commitment to the education and training of filmmakers was a distinctive feature of his career, the legacy of which is kept alive at the Universidad del Cine and in the various generations of filmmakers who were trained under his tutelage. Manuel Antin not only stood out on the big screen, he also ventured into other cultural fields as a novelist, poet, and playwright. His literary work, like his films, covered various themes and styles, consolidating him as a multifaceted figure in Argentine culture. Throughout his life, Antin was acclaimed for his ability to manage cultural institutions and promote young talent. His commitment to the education and training of filmmakers was a distinctive feature of his career, the legacy of which is kept alive at the Universidad del Cine and in the various generations of filmmakers who were trained under his tutelage. Manuel Carlos Antin will always be remembered for his contribution to the culture and cinema of Argentina. His departure marks the end of an era, but his legacy will live on over time. Antin remains a member of the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences of Argentina, a recognition that underscores his significant contribution to the seventh art. Former Red Wings player Larry Trader dies at 61. Larry Trader was a big hit when he was playing at training camp for the Detroit Red Wings during the fall of 1982. There's a good indication that he might start the season in the NHL. Red Wings coach Nick Poleno said at the time of the defenseman who was Detroit's 86th overall choice in the 1981 NHL entry draft. That feeling of euphoria didn't last long. Trader did make the Red Wings out of training camp as a 19-year-old in 1982. However, after playing just 15 NHL games, the Red Wings were reassigning Trader to his junior club, the OHL London Knights. Trader would also play in the NHL for the St. Louis Blues and Montreal Canadiens. His Red Wings days would come to an end on August 7, 1986. He was dealt to the Blues for defenseman Lee Norwood. At the junior and OL levels, Trader was a prominent offensive producer. He'd score 19 goals for the Knights during the 1981-82 season. London coach Paul McIntosh would sometimes play Trader at center. That position shift that was irksome to the Red Wings brass. They wanted him to focus on improving his defensive game. In the AHL, he'd accumulate a pair of 50-point campaigns. During the 1985-86 season with the Adirondack Red Wings, Detroit's top farm club, Trader would post 10 to 46-56 numbers. That was earning him AHL's second All-Star team status. Leading Adirondack with 16 assists and 22 points, Trader would help the club win the AHL Calder Cup title that spring. "I like Larry Trader's skills," Red Wings coach Harry Neal said prior to the 1985-86 season. "But if he wants to become a real good player in this league, he's got to get more involved." On the international stage, Trader won a bronze medal with Canada at the 1983 IHF World Junior Championship. Trader put up 2-3-5 totals over 7 games, the same numbers as current Red Wings GM Steve Yzerman would contribute to the team. He would also be a winner of the Spengler Cup in 1986-87 as part of Team Canada. His cousin is former Calgary Flames captain Jim Peplinski. Another sad death has been reported in South America. Luz Ayala, Chilean tennis icon, dies aged 91. Luz Ayala, an icon of tennis and a legend in Chilean sports, has died at the age of 91 on Wednesday, September 4. He is perhaps best known for being a 2-time runner-up in the French Open in both 1958 and 1960. He also won the mixed doubles category of the competition in 1956. A formidable player on hard surfaces, Ayala was considered as one of the best tennis players on clay in the world during his time in the sport. Outside of his successes in the French Open, he also performed admirably in the US Open, reaching the quarterfinals in 1957 and 1959. While he preferred to play on firm surfaces, he was also a dangerous opponent on grass. This was displayed by his performances at Wimbledon. He reached the quarterfinals of the prestigious tournament in 1959, 1960, and 1961. For several of these tournaments, he had entered as an amateur. He would not turn professional until 1961. He won an impressive 46 singles title over the course of his career. He retired from professional tennis in 1970. Following his retirement, Ayala looked to remain around the sport. He went on to become a tennis professional at the River Oaks Country Club in Houston, Texas. In a post on their official X, formerly Twitter, page, the Chilean Tennis Federation wrote, "It is with deep regret that we bid farewell to Luis Ayala, a Chilean tennis legend and the first top 10 player in the world in 1959. Finalist of Roland Garros, captain of the Davis Cup team and mentor of new generations, his legacy will live on every court. Rest in peace, Luco Ayala." In a further statement, they added via ESPN, "Today the Chilean tennis is losing a giant, but his legacy will live on every court where this beautiful sport is played." New Mexico flamenco pioneer Maria Benitez dies at 82. Maria Benitez, a pioneer who injected flamenco into New Mexico's DNA via her teaching, advocacy, and enduring passion, has died at 82. "I saw her on Friday, so I knew she was close to the end," said friend Theresa Cardenas, adding Benitez died Tuesday. "Her son left on Sunday for Europe, so it was just her time to go. We said our goodbyes." Benitez's son, Paco, is in Italy receiving an award, Cardenas said. "She died of natural causes. She had been dealing with health issues later in her career," Cardenas said. In the 1960s, Benitez, a Taz native, moved to Spain to become a professional dancer. She returned with a husband, Cecilio, and began the slow but steady process of building an audience for flamenco here. "We have just received another confirmation of death. Serbian-born rock legend Borisav Bora-Djordjevic died on Thursday, aged 72, in Ljubljana, Slovenia, where he lived and was recently hospitalized. Djordjevic was the frontman of the band Republika Korba and wrote some of the most popular songs in the former Yugoslavia and later Serbia, such as Pogledaj dom svoj angel, Look Homeward, Angel, and Lutka sa naslovna strain, doll on the front cover. Serbian President Aleksandar Vučić expressed sorrow at his death. "The great man is gone. Our Bora is gone. We owe him because of his songs and his great love for Serbia," Vučić wrote on Instagram. Interior Minister Ivica Dačić also expressed condolences. "Many generations grew up with Bora's music, and our current youth are happy to listen to all his songs. The music that he dedicated his whole life and created with great love and talent is absolutely timeless and will continue to inspire many generations," Dačić said. Djordjevic started playing music as a student in his Serbian hometown Čačak, and after continuing his education in Belgrade, founded his first acoustic band Zajedno in 1972. In the mid-1970s, Djordjevic went on to record songs with the bands Hajduk Stanko Ijataci, Zdravo, and SOS, the band from which Republika Korba was later created. He wrote lyrics and music for many musical stars in the Balkans, such as Zdravko Kolic, Bizera Velitanic, George Marjanovic, Olivera Katarina, Bajelo Dugma, Generosija 5, and folk pop singers Dara Bubamara and Svetlana Sika Raznatovic, widow of the warlord Zelcho Arkin Raznatovic. Djordjevic also worked and sang with Arsen Dedic, Zoran Predin, and Rambo Amadeus. For a short time, he was part of the band Reni Mraz together with George Balasevic. He wrote the musical scores for several films and published at least 10 books. During the 1990s and 2000s, he worked also with Mirko Pashin, who is known as Bajamali Ninza and is best known for his nationalist songs. After the democratic changes in Serbia in the early 2000s, he became an advisor to Minister of Culture Dragan Kojadinovic in 2004, but resigned the following year. In 2012, he was reportedly given the honorary title of Chetnik Duke by the Serb nationalist Chetnik movement, media reported. Around 100 members of the Chetnik movement attended the ceremony. In 2019, Riblja Korba were the headliners at a rally for Serbia's ruling Progressive Party. Djordjevic later said that the band had decided to play there for purely patriotic reasons. Aruna Vasudev, NETAC founder and Asian cinema champion, dies at 88. Aruna Vasudev, founder of publication Cinemaya and the Network for the Promotion of Asian Cinema, NETPAC, died on Thursday of multiple age-related ailments in New Delhi, India. She was 88. Vasudev was a key figure in promoting Asian cinema on the global stage. In 1988, she launched Cinemaya, the first Pan-Asian film quarterly, which ran for 2 decades. The publication became a vital resource for information on Asian films and filmmakers. In 1991, Vasudev established NETAC, an organization dedicated to the promotion of Asian cinema. NETPAC introduced awards for Asian films at international festivals and organized the Cinefin Festival in New Delhi. Actor Shabeni Azmi posted on Instagram, "She was the pioneer for making Asian films a genre to be talked about as a separate identity of its own. There are many laurels to her credit, but I will always remember her for her warmth and radiant smile. Her observations were always insightful, and I enjoyed being with her a lot. My condolences to her family." Filmmaker Shikhar Kapoor responded to Azmi's post, saying, "That is so sad. Aruna was an icon indeed, so passionate about cinema. So passionate about the place of Indian cinema in the rest of the world. She will be missed, RIP." Singer Freddie Jackson, 67, diagnosed with kidney disease, says he's facing it with openness and resilience. The chart-topping R&B singer, known for You Are My Lady, says he's sharing his diagnosis to make a positive difference. Freddie Jackson has been diagnosed with kidney disease, the R&B singer shared in videos posted to his social media channels on September 4. "After a lot of thought and reflection, I've come to a point where I feel I'm ready to talk about a recent chapter in my life," Jackson, 67, said in the video. "I have been diagnosed with kidney disease. This journey has had its challenges, but I've decided to face it with openness and resilience. It's important to me that I share this with you, not just as a part of my personal story, but as a way to make a positive difference," he said, announcing that he's partnered with the National Kidney Foundation to raise awareness about kidney health and provide support for those who are affected by kidney disease. Jackson, who topped Billboard's R&B singles charts in the 1980s with a slew of hits including You Are My Lady, Have You Ever Loved Somebody, and Jam Tonight, said that he hopes his work with the National Kidney Foundation will help shine a light on the importance of this issue. He thanked his fans for their support, saying, "As I take this step, I'm turning my personal experience into a platform for greater understanding and advocacy. With your help, we can work towards better awareness and improved outcomes for everyone with kidney disease." Kidney disease, the Mayo Clinic explains, involves a gradual loss of kidney function. Treatment focuses on slowing the progression of kidney damage, usually by controlling the cause, which can range from inflammation, diabetes, or high blood pressure. The disease can progress to end-stage kidney failure, which is fatal without artificial filtering, dialysis, or a kidney transplant. Aside from the kidneys, the disease can impact almost every part of your body, the Mayo Clinic says, leading to weak bones, heart disease, or a decreased immune response. The U.S. Centers for Disease Control estimates that 1 in 7 Americans have chronic kidney disease, and that 9 out of 10 don't even know they have it. Selena Gomez says she's forever in debt to best friend Francia Raisa for kidney transplant. Jackson ended his video with appreciation for his fans, saying, "Thank you for your encouragement, your love, and your support. It means more to me than I can express. From the bottom of my heart, I love you." Freddie Jackson, born in Harlem, New York City, rose from gospel roots to become one of the defining voices of 1980s and 1990s R&B. He began singing at the White Rock Baptist Church of Harlem, where he connected with producer and songwriter Paul Lawrence, a partnership that would propel him into the spotlight. After school, Jackson joined Lawrence's group, LGE, and began performing in New York nightclubs, honing his craft in the local music scene. In the late 1970s, Jackson briefly relocated to the West Coast, where he fronted the band Mystic Merlin, releasing 3 albums between 1980 and 1982. However, it was back in New York, working with Lawrence and Hush Productions, where Jackson's career truly took off. After a stint as a backing singer for Melba Moore, he signed with Capitol Records in 1984, launching his solo career. His 1985 debut album Rock Me Tonight catapulted him to stardom, especially with the title track and You Are My Lady, both reaching the top of the R&B charts. Jackson followed this success with Just Like the First Time in 1986, further dominating the R&B scene with hits like Tasty Love and Jam Tonight. His smooth, romantic ballads and mid-tempo grooves made him a staple of urban radio during this period. Though his mainstream crossover appeal waned after the late 80s, Jackson continued to enjoy success on the R&B charts, with singles like Hey Lover and Love Me Down. His career remained active through the 90s and 2000s with various albums and singles, including Here It Is, 1994, and Transitions, 2006. In the 2010s, Jackson re-emerged with the single Love and Satisfaction in 2014, which reintroduced him to a new generation of listeners. He continued touring and performing at soul music festivals worldwide, collaborating with icons like Jeffrey Osborne, Peabo Bryson, and Stephanie Mills. Throughout his career, Jackson became known for his velvety voice, smooth stage presence, and ability to capture the essence of romantic R&B, securing his place as a beloved figure in the genre. In addition to his musical achievements, Jackson's influence even extended to literary fiction when John Edgar Wideman's story Arizona in The New Yorker took the form of a letter addressed to him, cementing his status as a cultural icon. Today, we honor the lives and legacies of those who have left us. With gratitude and respect, we remember the profound impact they made and cherish the memories they left behind. May they find eternal peace, and may their contributions continue to guide us. We remember Rich Homie Quan, Laurent Terrard, Manuel Antin, Larry Trader, Luis Ayala, Maria Benitez, Borisov Bora-Georgievic, and Aruna Vasudev. May they rest in peace, and may God bring comfort to their families.